Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I will be making sourdough bread. I'd like to give a shout out to two of my students that gave me the starter, Kira and Joey. Thank you so much. We're gonna get started step by step. I'm gonna take you how to make delicious sourdough bread. So what will you need to make your sourdough bread? First and foremost, you will need a starter, an active starter. And my starter is really active. I fed it last night and this morning. You will need plain all-purpose flour. I'm going to be using some warm water and then some salt. And we're going to mix this up and we're going to start our process. I'm going to be making it with some nuts and then I'll be adding the nuts later on, but I'll show you step by step on how I begin and the process. It takes usually 2 days for me to make my sourdough bread. So what are some of the tools that you'll need? I absolutely recommend that if you don't have a scale, you can go ahead and purchase a scale. This will make it much better, much easier. I don't usually like using measuring cups, but scales are the best. I have a mixing utensil. You don't need this, you could do it with your hand. I will also have a thermometer because I want to measure the temperature of the water to making sure you have that. And then I have proving baskets. So these proving baskets, you don't need these. You can do these in a bowl of some sort. It just makes it easier and it comes out nicer, I think. I'm going to start the first process of mixing the flour, the yeast, and the salt. And this is called the autolyse. So I went ahead and measured out my flour, which was 500 grams of all-purpose flour. You could use other flour, but I find that all-purpose flour works just fine with me. So I went ahead and measured out my 500 grams of flour. Then I have lukewarm water. The water that I have is about 85 degrees. And so this is 350 grams of water. I'm going to go ahead and place that in. And then I'm going to begin the process of adding in my starter. I have 100 grams of my active starter in it, and it is bubbling already. So this is great, a great sign, 100 grams. And it's going to be tacky at the start, at the beginning. And so as I add in my starter here, want as much as possible to get all of this starter here. And then I'm going to begin the process of mixing it together. So it's going to be really tacky. I don't add the salt in right now. I will add the salt in just a little bit. This first process, as soon as I mix this all together, this is called the autolyse. And so what you want to do is allow the flour to mix together and that it won't be dry at all. And then I will add the salt in, and then I will let it rest for 30 minutes. As soon as I've let it rest for 30 minutes after the autolyse, then I begin my process of folding. So I'm going to go ahead and allow this to mix together, and then I will knead this lightly until it comes together. So I went ahead and kneaded that together where there's no more dry spots. Now I'm going to go ahead, and I have not added the salt in yet. I'm going to cover it up for about a half an hour and allow the gluten to begin. As soon as that comes together, in 30 minutes, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add the salt in, knead it one more time lightly with folds, not hard kneading, and then begin the process of folding every half an hour for about 3 hours. Okay, 30 minutes has gone by for the autolyse, and now I'm ready to go ahead and add my salt. I've grinded my salt down very finely, and I'm going to add my salt in, and then I'm going to fold my dough. And so that's the first process here. Go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to fold over my salt in so it's integrated completely into the dough. I'm just going to move it over like this and go ahead and add it in. I'm going to lift up, and then I'm not going to be harsh on the dough. I'm just going to be turning it like this until I've integrated it completely into the dough. And then when I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and let it rest again for 30 minutes. I'm probably going to do this about 4 times. It depends on how what it looks like. If it starts to bubble up, when I'm done with the folding, the first initial folding for about 4 times every half hour, then I'm going to go ahead and allow it to rest for about 4 hours, and that'll be the final proving. So this is the second fold. I'm going on 1 hour. I'm going to go ahead and take it, open up here, and now I'm going to add my seeds. And so what I did is I made roasted seeds, no salt, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and chia seeds. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce it now on the first hour. And so I don't have measurements. I just go ahead and add in as much as I think is necessary. And then I'm going to fold the seeds in. So I'll lift it up and then fold it over, churn it, lift it up, fold it over, lift it up and fold it over until I've integrated all of the seeds into the dough. And then I'm going to go ahead and allow it to rest for another 30 minutes and then one more time, and then allow it to rest anywhere between 4 and 6 hours for the final proving. This is the final of the 4, and so I'm going to go ahead and lift and churn. I'm going to do this 4 times. Lift and churn, lift and churn, lift and churn, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this on itself and then allow this now to sit for 4 hours, anywhere between 4 and 6 hours. It should double in size, and then we're ready to make our bread loaves to put in the refrigerator. Okay, so 6 hours has passed, and the sourdough has bubbles in it and looks pretty good. And so the time has come now. We're gonna go ahead and make our final loaf, and this is how I do it. So I go ahead and put some flour down, plenty of flour down, and then I grab my dough from the sides. It's gonna be sticky, so I wanna lift it up as best as possible. Kinda sticky. It's very sticky. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and put it down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over on itself like this. And then I'm going to bring in the edges. So just bring it all in together, nice bubbles in it. So I'm gonna just bring it in like this. And then I'm gonna fold it over on itself. And what I'm gonna do is just bring it in and create the loaf and make sure it's nice and tight. It already is, and it really looks really good. And so I don't think I have to play with this too much because it looks nice and tight. Then I go ahead and flour my proving basket, making sure I put plenty of flour in it. Okay. I'm going to flour this down here. Make sure there's quite a bit of flour in it. It's nice and tight. I'm going to go ahead and lift it up, and then I'm going to put it face down in my proving basket. Okay, I'm going to put flour down on top. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for 8 hours, just overnight. Put it into a plastic bag so it doesn't dry out, and tomorrow morning I will be baking. We'll see you then. Okay, it's the next day, and they've been in the fridge for over 10 hours, and I went ahead and took them out, and I'm gonna allow them to rest here. I have my Dutch ovens here. I have my oven set to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna place these Dutch ovens in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour so they can heat up really nice and hot. As soon as they're hot enough, I'm going to go ahead and score my bread, and I'll show you how I do that. Place them in the oven, and we're ready to bake. Okay, I've taken my Dutch oven out of the oven, and now I'm ready to score my bread. So what I'm going to do is I have my bread here. I'm going to place my parchment paper on top, flip it over, and hope for the best. Okay, came off completely. Nice, it didn't stick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my X-Acto knife and I'm going to score straight across this way. And then I'm just going to make a simple design here, like a leaf. And I'm going to use these sides here to go ahead and place it in my Dutch oven. It's super hot, so we're going to be careful with this. Place it inside into the Dutch oven. It goes, and it's going to go in at 500 degrees for 20 minutes. I'm going to spray it with water so it gets this nice crust. Cover it up and into the oven for 20 minutes at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I'm going to lower it down to 450, take the lid off, and then we should be ready with a golden crust. So after 20 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and lower my temperature down to 450. And then I'm going to take the lids off and I'm going to allow them to bake, to cook for another 20 minutes. They're still raw, as you can see, and we're going to go ahead and brown them for another 20 minutes. Okay, the time has come and the bread is out of the oven. It looks beautiful. And so I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. It's still nice and hot. Pull this out. And we're going to place them on a cooling rack. Your temptation is to cut it. Don't cut it. Wait for about an hour or so until it is completely cooled down. Once it's cooled down, you can cut into it and it will continue to cook still inside. And it's going to give that really great chewy taste. It has a beautiful crust on it. The crust is nice and hard, just the way I like it. Can't wait to cut into it. That's our next step. Okay, the moment of truth has begun here, and let's cut into this beautiful bread and see what this is like. We're going to cut a nice crust. Okay, we're going to cut into this and see what this looks like. Beautiful. It's still a little warm and it's absolutely beautiful. Try making sourdough bread at home and enjoy. We'll see you next time. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next one.